Hello, Center family. This is Elder Norma Spencer. I'm coming to you with today's Children's Church lesson from the book of Nehemiah, chapters 4 through 6. Our golden text today is taken from the book of Isaiah, chapter 41, verse 10, which reads, "So do not fear, for I am with you," says the Lord. Last time we were together, I shared the story of a Jewish man named Nehemiah who had been away from his home in Jerusalem for a long time, living in the land of Persia. Nehemiah had heard from other people that the walls and gates that protected the city were broken down and the Jews were in great trouble. The king of Persia that Nehemiah worked for allowed him to go back to Jerusalem to rebuild the wall. When he arrived, he found the people were afraid, but they believed that God sent Nehemiah to rebuild the city. So the Jews came together, they made a plan, and started building the walls around Jerusalem. Nehemiah and the Jews learned about the secret plan of an attack against them by Sanballat, Tobiah, Geshem, and the rest of their enemies. Though the Jews were afraid, they continued to work on the wall with a tool in one hand and a weapon in the other. We left that story reminded by Nehemiah that our God will fight for us. And he tells us that in Nehemiah chapter 4, verse 19. Today's story tells us that Nehemiah's enemies tried many times to scare the Jews and stop them from working on the wall. Sanballat, Tobiah, and Geshem sent Nehemiah an invitation to join them and meet together in a village on the plain of Ono. But Nehemiah knew that they intended to harm him, so he refused their invitation and sent them away with this message: "I am doing a great work, and I cannot come down. Why should the work stop while I leave it and come down to you?" They asked Nehemiah 4 times to come to Ono, and 4 times he said no. Next, Sanballat sent his aide, and in his hand was a letter which was written, "It is reported among the nation," and Geshem says it's true, that says that you, Nehemiah, and the Jews are planning to rebel against the king, and that's why you are rebuilding the wall, so that Nehemiah could be the king. Sanballat's aide said, "Now this report will get back to the king, so come, let us meet together." Now, after Nehemiah read that, he told the people, he sent back this reply to Sanballat: "Nothing like what you are saying is happening, because you, Sanballat, are making up the rumors out of your head." Nehemiah turned and told the people, they were all trying to frighten us, thinking that our hands will get too weak for the work and it will not get completed on the wall. But Nehemiah said, "I prayed. Now, O God, strengthen my hands." You'll find that in Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 9. Finally, Sanballat and Tobiah sent a man named Shemaiah to tell Nehemiah to go to the temple and hide there because his enemies were coming to kill him. Nehemiah realized that God had not sent that man because somehow he knew Tobiah and Sanballat had hired Shemaiah and that they were again trying to frighten and intimidate Nehemiah so he would stop building the wall. Well, children, Nehemiah prayed for God to help them, and the people in Jerusalem, they kept working on the wall. And guess what? With God's help, They finished the entire wall in 52 days. Amazing how God helps. So, well, here is our golden text again. I want you to remember Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Nehemiah rebuilt the wall in Jerusalem. Now let's finish our other story, The Anthill Disaster by Julia Cook. This is about the ants who lost their school and had to rebuild it. Last time we read how a human wearing waffle stomper boots stomped all over the anthill school until he made it flat. It was a disaster. The ants had to run and run until they got to the great tree that was 2 blocks away. Then they were able to stop. Even though the ants were afraid and very uncertain about their future, they knew that by working together, they would be very, very strong. We know, like Nehemiah, that God is with us and protecting us. So when we work together, we are very, very strong. We know, like Nehemiah, that God is with us and protecting us. So when we work together, we are very, very strong. Well, we start back in our book, The Anthill Disaster, after the school is rebuilt and the children have been asked to return to school. On the first day back to school, the young boy ant finds things are different. He tells his mother that, I don't want to go back to school. I saw lots of sad faces, lots of scared faces, and even a few angry faces. There were faces that he had never even seen before. Well, there were even some ants that weren't there. The world as he knew it had really changed, and everyone knows that nothing's the same. I'm bringing you the reading from beginning on page 19. I made it through the day, and my mom was right where she said she'd be waiting for me after school. On the way home, we even went to the park. How was your day? My mom asked. It was okay, I said. Do you want to talk about it? She asked. Nope. Do you want to talk about it? No. Before I went to bed, though, I started feeling scared again. I don't want to go to school tomorrow, Mama. I just want to stay home. I know how you feel, but you're safe now, and you need to go. After school, I will be right outside the door waiting for you, just like always. Then we can spend some special time together, just you and me. Maybe we can even go back to the park. What if it happens again, Mama? Everyone is working together very hard to keep that from happening. We are strong when we all work together. How strong? Very, very strong, said Mama. Well, our teacher told us about what happened when you were little, Mama. When the bad storm blew the big piece of cement on top of the hill and smashed it flat? What did she say? Asked Mama. She said it was a terrible disaster that changed the lives of many ants. Then she said that sometimes things happen we have no control over, but we have to find a way to keep on living. So she told us that what you did now is what we need to do, which is we need to breathe in and breathe out and hold on to each other. It's okay to shed a few tears. You're going to shed tears, but we must love one another. If we all come together as a strong team of one, then we can rebuild and get anything done. Did she say anything else, son? No, but she told us that if we wanted to talk about it or ask her questions, we could. Then we got to make some special cards for all the aunts out there that were sadder than we are. Mama, do you think the Stomper will come back? Nobody knows the answer to that, son, but you know that everyone is working very hard to keep that from ever happening again. And together we are strong. How strong, he asked. Very, very strong. Now go to sleep. Well, today I'm getting up. Going to school was a little bit easier. Today, going to school was easier than yesterday. Today, going to school didn't seem quite as hard. Today, going to school almost felt normal. Maybe that's because different is now what seems like the same. We breathe in and breathe out. We hold on to each other. We shed a lot of tears, and we love one another. We've all come together as a strong team of one. We've rebuilt our lives, and we're getting things done. They say that when change comes, it makes everyone grow. Our pain is never forgotten. This we all know. But together, we somehow are learning to cope, because disaster will never take away our hope. Well, children, I hope you enjoyed these stories. When disasters or tragic events happen, whether it's an earthquake, fire, power failure, like this pandemic that's called a coronavirus, whether it's a natural or a man-caused event, we're to remember that things do happen that we have no control over, but we have to find a way to keep living. Talk to your parents about your fears. Here's a possible activity that you might want to try. The aunts made special cards for other aunts who were sad, right? Students can make a card for someone like a senior citizen, someone who is ill, or a classmate you haven't seen in a while because we have to stay home until the pandemic is over. Take some construction paper, fold it in half, draw a picture on the front, and write a special note inside that might say, "The thing that helps make me feel better when I'm sad is to think that nothing, feelings or situations, good or bad, last forever. Take care," and sign it sincerely, your name. Or how about this? "I hope you feel surrounded by love. You are strong. You are special. You are loved." Sign it, your name, me. Parents, here's something I'd like you to remember. There is no right or wrong way to talk to your child about traumatic events that take place. However, here are a few tips that I'd like to share that'll help kids cope with disasters. Remain calm and reassuring. Create an environment where children will feel comfortable asking you questions. Always answer a child's question truthfully with simple answers. You don't need to go into much detail. It's not necessary, but lying to your children or making up facts will ultimately confuse them. And eventually, when they find out the truth, what happened? They may struggle with trusting you in the future. If your child asks a question that you do not know the answer to, it's okay to say, I don't know. And then encourage kids to talk about disaster-related events on their terms. Never force a child to ask a question or to talk about an incident until he or she is ready to do so. You know, we've been encouraging our family at the center and everyone to be ready for disasters. We get into disaster preparedness. Well, here are 5 ways to be prepared. 1, get alerts to know what to do. So follow the guidelines of your local authorities. Go to your city websites, find out, get alerts. 2, make a plan. Learn different ways to get out of there fast, and then practice it with your family. 3, be ready to go. So make a go bag. It's real simple, just a few supplies of water, food that you don't have to cook or it won't spoil right away, and a flashlight, and have a connect and protect place or public shelter that you can go to. Think about that ahead of time. Where do we meet up? At the park. 4, stay safe at home. In some disasters, you may find it safer to be at home. So keep some water, food that won't spoil again, that won't need cooking, and some trash bags. And then finally, number 5, help friends and neighbors get ready. Send them the alerts, share it, and then build a support network. There is strength in numbers. Well, thank you, Center family, for joining me today. Until next time, stay safe and love one another. Goodbye.